How do you diagnose a no-crank, no-start issue in your car? There's nothing quite like the feeling of turning the key in your ignition and have your car do absolutely nothing, not even a courtesy cough. As a Portland resident, I rely on my car a fair bit, despite our city's penchant for biking and walking. It's essential for those trips to the gorge or the coast, so I feel your pain when your ride won't start. Okay, let's walk through this step by step, sleuth hat on, and see if we can diagnose the problem. Battery check first and foremost. It's important to check your car battery since it's often the main culprit. Pop the hood and ensure the battery terminals are clean and tightly connected. Corrosion can interfere with the power supply. And here in the rainy Pacific Northwest, moisture can be a real pain for anything metal under there. If terminal fussing doesn't do the trick, it's time to check the battery's voltage with a multimeter. Anything below 12.4 volts, and your car will stubbornly sit silent. Batteries don't like extreme cold, and though Portland's winters aren't Arctic, the chill can still sap their willpower. Starter motor. Next up, the starter. Now the starter is a bit like the heart of the car's ignition system, so if it's not thumping, nothing's starting. If you hear a clicking noise when you try to start the car, that's your starter saying it's trying but just can't muster the strength. It could be internally clogged, or it might just be its time. They have a lifespan after all. Ignition switch. Don't forget to consider the ignition switch. If you turn the key and the lights on your dashboard remain dark, that switch might be to blame. It's effectively the gatekeeper of the electric flow to the starter. No open gate, no power parade. Fuel system. Now let's talk gas. A no-crank, no-start situation can sometimes be misleading because it sounds electrical, but it could be fuel-related. A fuel pump or a clogged fuel filter can also stop a car in its tracks. If fuel isn't making it to the engine, it won't matter that your starter and battery are in Olympic shape. Portland has its fair share of hills, and running your fuel tank bottom-scrapingly low can sometimes lead to that filter acting up. Further steps. There's a myriad of more complex issues that could be at play here, but these are your first line of DIY diagnosis before you consider hoisting the white flag and calling in a pro mechanic. If you're not seeing any issues with these components but still have a no-go, we're getting into more specialized territory, which might require more advanced tools or knowledge to diagnose. Like a good Portlander, it could be time to tap into a bit of community spirit and get a professional to look at it. And fortunately, there's no shortage of great mechanics in the City of Roses. Just make sure you're not rolling the dice with a shady garage. Good luck, and may the mechanical muses shine their wrench-turning light upon you.